Hi everybody, it's John back again with another model final reveal video. Tonight we're looking at the finished results of the Hella Saab J21A. You know, the unorthodox pusher twin boom fighter that was entering service in the Swedish Air Force just after the Second World War finished. I really enjoyed building this kit, and I think the final result that I got from it is actually quite attractive. It's a very attractive and presentable little model. It's a very easy build, although it looks quite complicated. It's actually quite an easy build. The propeller does rotate. It's not a tail sitter, although it doesn't like returning itself back to its nose wheel when you sit on its tail. But the aircraft sits on its nose wheel quite nicely. There's plenty of room inside the nose to weight the aircraft down, and the kit fits together like a dream. The underside colour of this kit was actually painted in Humbrol grey primer, which I quite like using this paint as an underside colour. I think it looks quite nice. You get quite a good finish with it as well, which I quite like. The undercarriage itself is quite a beefy undercarriage on this kit. It makes the aircraft stand quite tall. I think it was necessary for the clearance for the propeller as required. The top coat is a it's what you call a satin finish, medium dark green. It wasn't matte 30, it was a different colour. It was quite a bit darker than that, and it was a semi-matte satin finish, so that the transfers would go on quite nice. And I actually copied an aircraft that's I copied the finish of an aircraft that was in a museum. I think it's in it's in Stockholm somewhere. I think the museum is in Stockholm, and it's like the Swedish Museum of Flight. And the Saab J21A is one of the exhibits in there. It's quite an unusual aircraft. It's very unusual, in fact. I've never seen a fighter quite like it. It was reasonably quick, although it wasn't as fast as other contemporary European fighters from World War II, especially late in the war. But the aircraft seemed to be quite manoeuvrable, and it had a decent amount of firepower. Quite interesting history on the aircraft, and if you wanted to find out a bit of history on the aircraft, just tap into Wikipedia and look up the Saab J21A. It was only in service for about 4 years. From late 1945 December, I think it entered service until about late 1949, when it was being superseded by jet-propelled aircraft like the Vampire. So unfortunately, although it was an unusual and quite an interesting design, and it was quite a successful and well-liked aircraft by its pilots, it fell foul of the era of which it was introduced into service with the Swedish Air Force, as its longevity of service was very much cut short by the jet era. But I did find this kit quite an interesting kit to build. It's a very enjoyable build. There are no fit issues with it whatsoever. The kit actually fits together very snugly, no filler whatsoever required, and it was an enjoyable build. And well done, Hella, for this one, because I actually give you top marks. It's a kit I would very highly recommend. One of Hella's better models, better efforts, and an interesting and unusual addition to anyone's collection. Yeah, so that's the Saab J21. This is the A variant. There are 2 options in the kit, and I built the first one, which I think is the closest one to the aircraft that's in the Swedish Flight Museum. So anyway, I hope this video has been of some use. If you fancy a kit like this, have a bash at the Hella kit. It's actually quite an enjoyable build, quite a nice kit to build. As I said, I would thoroughly recommend it to all types of modelers, you know, old hands, new novice builders. And it's not that much of a handful for youngsters to build either. I mean, it says 8 and upwards on the box, but, you know, I think with supervision, I think younger children could build this, and it is an unusual aeroplane to model. So anyway, I hope this video has been of use. If you've got any comments, any questions, just pop them in the comments. I'll try and get back to you as quickly as possible. And I hope all your modelling projects are going smooth. I'll see you for the next one. Thanks for tuning in. Bye bye.